Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
Oh, do we remember how to do this? I don't know if we remember how to do this. It's been almost 3 years since I've gotten to say these words. But welcome in. It is NBL Live broadcast number 353 here on the NBL Network. So happy to have everybody along with us. Back at it again. Nick Mizesko alongside the man, the myth, the legend, the man who the entire league is named after. My broadcast partner for 4 years. It is none other than Bomber. Bomber, it's good to be back, right? Like it's just... It seems like we haven't missed a step.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little 1-2 punch here for broadcast number 353. It seems like we've been doing it not as frequently lately. What has it been, about 2 years, you said?
Almost 3.
We did our last broadcast. It was the last Super Bowl there. But we did 350 of these. Should be like riding a bike. Hopefully we get our groove back.
These guys just read it up, by the way. They were just like, we're going. I mean, I didn't tell them to. It's good to be back. Me getting mad about people readying up without me telling them to ready up.
Hey, you know what I do? I had that horn, man. Something like that.
Yeah, well.
Hit the horn on them. Commanders at home today. They're favored to win here.
Do you want to save the BTF reveal till after, or do you want to just like say?
No, let's do it now.
You want me to do it right now?
We'll just miss the kickoff. Nothing's gonna happen too serious, I don't think.
Cutscene. Well, guess what? Here on the NBL Network, we have a show, Building the Franchise, following around one team throughout the season. You get all the behind-the-scenes info, and we are here to reveal right now who that team will be. So enjoy the reveal of who will be the team to follow in Building the Franchise in NBL Season 51. Yes, indeed, it will be Z-Stars New York Football Giants being followed on Building the Franchise return here on the NBL. Bomber, I think it's going to be an interesting team to watch. I cannot wait to see the series.
Yeah, it should be electric. Got some speed at the wide receiver position. Saquon Barkley, what's going to happen with Daniel Jones in the future? We will find out. Stay tuned. That's going to be live here on this channel, twitch.tv/NBL Network for all the streams coming up and any live content here for the NBL Network. Yeah, I'm excited to get it rock and rolling. We should have a game here for week 2. You can follow us on Twitter at the Bomber League or the NBL Network Twitter as well. It'll be posting when we have upcoming live streams.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun as we got the Cardinals and the Washington. I'm still going to call them the football team. I think Commanders is a bad nickname. We should go back to the football team. It is Arizona with the ball first, and Kyler Murray at the helm. Something you're not going to see in the actual NFL is, Kyler Murray at the helm, because Kyler Murray, I'm pretty sure, is actively dead. No?
It's not looking good for him in IRL, but Kyler Murray today, they're on a nice little drive here, 2nd and 3, some manageable stuff, going to pick up a first down. Arizona, they're gonna win the swag jerseys for today. I mean, I like them all whites. They're looking nice and fresh. But Washington is the favorite today, 2.5-point favorite. Are you taking Arizona and getting those 2.5 points, giving up 2.5? Where do you see this game ending up?
I have no idea. Couldn't even tell you. I mean, there's a great read option there. Kyler Murray outside right to the 50. He's past midfield to the 40, and he'll go out near the 36-yard line. That's what this Cardinals team brings, is that dynamism at quarterback. You run that read option, you commit too far inside, and all of a sudden Kyler Murray's running for 20.
Yeah, it looked like it caught the Washington Commanders off guard there. Everybody kind of fell for that run. They've been running and passing the ball, and then they hit you with a little option here, and Kyler Murray finds that weak side, and there's nothing but open space as he gets down to the 36-yard line, about 16 from the red zone.
Nice catch by Gibson on the outside, and he breaks a tackle or two, makes a man miss, and he's going to be down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. 4 for 4 passing early for Kyler Murray.
And it's been really just throws like we just saw. It's going to be hike, get rid of the ball. That's what they're doing in Arizona this season. It's going to be a lot of quick passes, get Kyler Murray some confidence, kind of get his swagger back a little bit. And right now, inside the red zone, first drive, looking good for Arizona, especially on the road. Week 1 action, you never know what you're going to get from these road teams. Traveling, still trying to figure everything out. But, man, Arizona looks pretty sharp.
Play action pass on 1st and 10. Might have a man, but a good knockout. First incompletion of the day. The Commanders' defense stepping up.
Yeah, Kyler tried to squeeze that one in there. Not enough separation. Probably should have put some air on it and let his receiver just a little bit. But that is nonetheless a great defensive play there at linebacker. And you just love those animations for 1 second.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Nice job by the
good
team.
to see.
They did a really good job with some of those new knockout animations. 2nd out of 10, Murray under center in that single back bunch ace formation. He's got Gibson in the backfield, going to run a little counter play, and is able to get upfield, and a first down, and the first touchdown of NBL Live Season 51 goes to Antonio Gibson and the Arizona Cardinals.
Broadcast number 353 gets on the board early as we're just 2 minutes and 40 seconds into NBL Live broadcast number 353 in Arizona. 1 drive. That's all it took to put 7 on the board. Now, right there, you saw the blocker coming to pull, and he really didn't pick up the block, but when you got a dynamic halfback that's able to make men miss, and that's exactly what he did there, and that's just poor tackling in the open field. And we started to see that with Washington as they got closer, as Arizona got closer to the end zone, probably inside the 40. It seemed like the open field tackling for Washington just kind of lost its fundamental.
Well, and what's crazy is you think about it, the first touchdown of NBL Live in 2.5 years, first score. There's storylines all about. That's a former Washington Commander and Antonio Gibson getting the first score of the game.
Yeah, you like to see it, and maybe a little cheers in the crowd. Still missing the guy because, man, he can make plays like that, and I tell you, Washington would need it right now. Down
Play
7.
action. It's Sam Howell, the former North Carolina Tar Heel, with the ball, and he'll throw it to Curtis Samuel. That's a former Buckeye with the catch, and the first pass of Sam Howell's young career is completed for 21.
21 yards for Curtis Samuel. I think he's used to that. The speedster's always been able to get downfield, and it seems like he's always open. He caught the ball right there, and there wasn't a defender within 10 yards of him. Arizona's first defensive position. They get a little aggressive here in Washington, a little play action, lull you into the run, and able to find his man for a first down.
That was no stick there. Okay, that was an ugly cutback from Brian Robinson. Nowhere up the middle. That's going to be the big test for T-Jacks and these Arizona Cardinals. Do they have the pieces on defense to get stops?
Well, we're going to find out here shortly. Does Washington, if they continue this high pace here, they're at the 38-yard line. You saw Arizona took a different approach. They kind of moved the chains a couple times before they reached the 40-yard line here. But this is when they can get aggressive and flip the field.
There goes Brian Robinson.
There's a nice
there
run.
goes
Wow.
Brian Robinson. He might be out of here to the 15, 10, 5, like a doctor of the 50s. He's making a house call.
The wheels on the bus go ground and pound early. And I said this was the exact point where Arizona had that big run by Kyler Murray about the same part of the field. And they're able to do it here in Washington. So looks like a 7-7 ball game. 2 scores, 2 possessions. Doesn't get any better for that if you're the viewer.
A great start to this game, and like an inferior lemon lime soda product, it 7's up early in Washington as Fenton returns one really nice return up past the 25 to 27-yard line. That's where we'll get to see Kyler Murray and the Cardinals offense come back out.
I know you're at a hotel and you're asking if it's lagging. It's you.
Everything's crispy on my end. I'm just saying.
3 minutes and 55 seconds of action here on NBL Live Broadcast 353. We got 14 points on the board. and the Cardinals coming out in pistol. They're going to get aggressive here. There's a run to the left side.
Oh, and he got absolutely walloped as he picks up 4, but paid the price.
Payne laying the lumber, putting his big body on the halfback there. You got to keep your head on a swivel. Try to avoid as many big hits like that as you can at the halfback position, or you won't be playing many snaps here in the NBL.
2-3 tight end, 1 wide receiver. Murray back to pass, 4-man rush. And for the first time, this Washington defense able to get to the quarterback, Jonathan Allen, in on the sack. That pocket closed quickly, and I don't care how fast Kyler Murray is, he was not escaping.
When you think of defensive lines in the NBL, on paper, this team is supposed to do what they're doing right now. And, man, it's good to see them finally connecting on the field as we've all watched this team get put together. And you know they're going to have a crazy pass rush because they got so much talent on that defensive line.
A little RPO action, and is able to complete that over the middle field. That's a dangerous throw. That looked like a one-read RPO. There was no chance he was handing that ball off.
Was that?
I don't want to talk about it.
The one?
It can't be.
It must be if you're that confident doing it.
It looked confident.
Almost Trent Richardson, that one.
We're going to have to talk to T-Jax about that one. I feel like he might have been lurking our lab streams. Be a second.
Right there, a little hesitation cost him. He only picked up 3 there.
Quibble says that's that mutt crap. Okay, well, rude. Play action. Pressure picked up. Looking deep down the seam for Zach Ertz. Good click on, but a better knockout. Feel like there was an opportunity there, Bomber, for an interception. That ball floated for a long time. Instead, the defense goes for the knockout.
Yeah, if they had any routes coming across the middle of the field, it was wide open. I was expecting a deep dig. I was hoping Ertz was on a dig there to kind of flatten out his space. He was sitting there in no man's land, and Kyler kind of led him into the safety there. He was unable to hang on to it.
2 wide to the left side, 1 to the right side. It's Rondale Moore, the lone receiver. They're going to look for a corner out. That's well covered, and that was a defensive play, huh? That was a click on. Wouldn't say a good one, but it was a click on.
Well, you wonder why they're on the defensive side of the ball, and that tells you enough right there. Unable to track that ball, probably trying to play. I didn't play the receiver. I was in great position to guard the tight end, and he kind of bailed out of the throw. Hey, maybe he thought the throw was to the receiver 5 yards up the field, it almost seems like.
End of 1. We are still tied at 7. Arizona on the drive. But, man, the first drive, Bomber, looked like quick work, looked very methodical, seemed well. This drive has not been nearly as well rehearsed. This drive has had a couple throws that maybe should be going the other way.
Now, what did we see on that first drive? And I was telling you all about the quick throws from Kyler Murray, hiking the ball and getting rid of it early into the play. Now you're seeing him go through his progressions, and it's been just a little suspect, a little rocky so far on some of these throws, but so far no turnover, so all's well that ends well.
There's Montez Sweat in the backfield, making sure that outside zone went absolutely nowhere.
In the NBL, that's a TFL, tackle for loss there. Montez Sweat still trying to become that player everybody thought he was going to be. But, man, when you're surrounded by the defensive line that he's surrounded by, he's still going to get loose and make those plays because he has a lot of athleticism, and right there he just wasn't even blocked. So
2nd and 13. Looked like the defenders dropped back to play pass, and that was an easy inside zone, so they lose 3 on first down, able to get 7 on second instead of a 3rd and manageable.
How important is it, OSU, to turn a 2nd and long into a 3rd and manageable, especially when you're here in that red zone-ish area? It just seems like that was a very smart play call for Arizona, not trying to put Kyler Murray in these long down and distances on 3rd down. They want to play mistake-free football.
They're going to go back to the RPO, and it's Gibson with a first down and more. Gibson's going to get 6. Had the entire defense fooled on that RPO, just gave it to the former commander, and Gibson with 2 early touchdowns.
And that goes back to the point I made at the 38, 40-yard line in the first quarter where they ran the read option and Kyler kept it. It seemed like the defense was expecting Kyler to hold on to that ball, and they were able to find themselves into pay dirt fairly easily there. And it's just been some nice play calling from Arizona. Maybe a couple throws that, if you're the head coach there for the Arizona Cardinals. But all in all, I think they're at a B+ for me so far offensively.
14-7 as it will be Washington. This is Badel with the return. I keep looking at his name and thinking it says Batty, and I refuse to call him Batty. But it is Badel. Tally saying stop clicking
Batty.
on. No, I cannot call another Person back. Eric G in the chat. What's up, BG?
What do we have on these NBL live player props there? Kyler Murray, 55.5 rushing yards, over under on that. Wow.
He's already got 30.
Yeah. I'll have to say over.
Brian Robinson Jr. left side, nowhere to go.
Antonio Gibson was at 1.5 total touchdowns. Already got one on the board. Oh, he's got two, right?
Over.
Yeah, back to back. So you already hit the over on that. If you bet on that, you're already home cooking here. You got yourself a dub, and it isn't even halfway through the second quarter yet.
Sam Howell back to pass right up the seam, and he's got the big tight end Logan Thomas. Good couple moves to make a couple tacklers miss, pick up a couple extra, and Sam Howell completes his second pass of the game. Washington already near midfield.
I pulled the chair out on him right there. He thought he had a tackle, squared him up, and he just hit the oop-de-oo to the left side. And that's a pretty agile move there for the tight end, making that safety miss, able to get some yards after the catch. You got to love it if you're Washington, as the fans have been really almost like they're not getting excited as they should be. This offense is looking really good. I know they're down 14-7, but I'd expect Washington week one, this crowd would be a little bit more energetic.
7 on that little run. Nice juke move back inside. Going to set up a 2nd and 3 for the second-year quarterback, but first-year starting Sam Howell out of the University of North Carolina. Sets up with 3 wide receivers, wide right.
Box here. I don't like this defense. You already had a seam to the tight end. It's open again.
Goes to the run play. Brian Robinson's breaking tackles and breaking hearts, picking up a first down.
No, I take it back. That was a weak box, but that defensive tackle hit a nice little spin move there on the center, and he was in the backfield. Robinson made you look. Robinson on the his prop bet is 156.5 total yards. I mean, he's walking for 7 or 8 open field so far. What do you got over and under on that?
This pace is gonna be easily over. Play action pass for Howell. He's got a crosser wide open. That's the speedster Curtis Samuel inside the 15. Inside near the 10-yard line. We'll call it the 11. 3 of 3, 69 yards. Nice.
Washington doing a good job lulling the Arizona Cardinals defense to sleep with some trenches, ground and pound work. And now they hit you with that play action Jackson and finds his man wide open. That could have easily been a touchdown.
And then they go back to the ground. Brian Robinson. I mean, I don't know how he pulled the Houdini act to get 9 out of there, but he gets down to the 2-yard line.
You know who that looks like to me? Prime Le'Veon Bell. Just able to shift down a gear or two, even put his hand out to kind of direct the defender out of the way. You got to love it. Number 8's looking great.
Goal line formation. 3 tight ends out there. See what they decide to do. It is Howell. It's a play action. Robinson with a nice block. He looks left side, and Logan Thomas makes the catch in coverage. Sam Howell has his first NBL touchdown of the year, and the Commanders an extra point away from tying up. NBL Live broadcast 353.
Both of these offenses seem a step or two, even 2 ahead of the defenses right there. That was a great play action from Sam Howell. Really sold the run, and they had that free blitzer in there. I thought he was going to be able to get to Sam Howell, but he does a good job setting his feet, realizing that he has a defender coming down, and it finds Logan Thomas. Was that Logan Thomas for a touchdown?
It was Logan Thomas. Rashad Fendon takes it about 6 yards deep in the end zone, and he's able to get up near the 20-yard line, called the 21. That's where this Cardinals offense will come back out on the field. So far, Bomber, not a whole lot of defense in this NBL Live game.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. It's been the offensive. I mean, we got 28 points, total points together. We just now hit the halfway point here in the second quarter. Not even at halftime yet. It just, usually when games start like this on NBL Live, doesn't it seem like it kind of slows down in the second half? Because you never really see it just continue to ramp up. So I think the defense is going to settle in, make some adjustments at halftime. You should see both of these teams perform a little better.
Route. There's Trey McBride with a catch. He gets absolutely, I mean, I've seen WWE wrestlers take less of a hit than Trey McBride did right there as we hit the 2-minute warning. I mean, look at this. He got hit with did he get hit with a 3D?
Shout out to the Dudley boys.
14's up. Murray back to pass. Trying to set up the screen. He gets caught up behind the line. Oh, picked off at the line. And the big man is rumbling. Davis down the middle of the field. Davis is going to rumble his way in for a defensive touchdown, reading the screen like it was a beautiful novel.
And just as we question the defenses, on both teams. Well, now you get a turnover and some points on the board. What did Arizona want to do today? They wanted to make quick throws, quick decisions, not have Kyler Murray sitting there and holding the ball and having him trying to improvise something. And right there, he gets a defender coming down on him. He can't, it's a shorter quarterback here, man. He's not seeing everything. He throws to the halfback there, and just from our angle, that was just a pretty tough, a very, very tough offensive play there for Kyler Murray. And that's one of the ones the offensive coordinator is going to have to sit down and talk with him.
Rashad Fenton takes to the 19-yard line, and now after Kyler Murray makes the mistake, going to try to make up for it here. Buck 45, 2-minute drill opportunity.
Got to stay with the run. You still have 3 timeouts. Arizona, don't play the scoreboard. You're down 7. You've been front running the entire first half. Continue to do what you do and stay within your offense. That's, sometimes you're going to turn the ball over, but it's how you respond is what makes you great.
Missed tackle. Gibson is still running. Oh, a tackle that saved a touchdown as Gibson was almost out of there. No huddle offense. Buck 23 and counting in the first half. Murray back into that pistol deuce close. He'll give it stretched to the other side. And Gibson is only going to pick up a couple. Gets 3 as that clock keeps moving.
I'd like to see him make a move and stay outside there. Didn't have to cut back in. It was him and the defender to beat, and he kind of came back to the help.
He's lucky. That was just I thought it was a fumble. They say his arm's moving forward. It's going to set up a 3rd and 7. Got to be careful here, Bomber. If they don't pick up a first down here, Washington will have an opportunity to get some points before the half.
If I'm Washington, I'm sending the heat, and I'm hitting the flats. Get some pressure on Kyler Murray. We're already seeing it right now. Even then, he was trying to get rid of that ball. When you get pressure coming down on him, it looks like he's trying to get rid of the ball. That could cause another turnover here for Arizona as opposed to throwing it away.
Here is the heat. Blitz sent, looking deep down the field. Inaccurate pass there from Kyler Murray. Maybe it's fortunate. That safety was closing over on that seam route. Probably a little lucky that that's not going the other way. And it's going to force a punt here from the Arizona Cardinals.
And I think that's an okay pass there for Kyler Murray. It's one of the ones where, hey, if my receiver can get underneath this ball, great. If not, we're going to punt the ball. He kind of laid it out to play it out as the pressure was coming down. But I would have liked to see Arizona stick with the running game. If Washington's going to blitz you like they have been, use the, hit a counter, get outside, use that to your advantage here. As we already seen Gibson with 2 touchdowns.
Big shout out to MBL's official tech support. Dark Brawler comes into the chat, says, did I miss anything good? As he looks on the screen and sees a 21-14 game with 47 seconds left. Nah, man, nothing happened. 21-14, 47 seconds left in the half. It looks like Washington's going to go to the single back bunch X nasty. Howell under center. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Brian Robinson in the backfield. Howell is going to give it to Robinson, not afraid to stay on the ground.
Wow.
I mean, if he doesn't run into his own blocker there, he might still be running. 40 seconds and counting. No timeout taken by either team.
Man, I like this Robinson kid. I mean, he stays on his feet. He's got that up and down, big body running style. And, man, he just seems like he's going to break a big play every time the ball's in his hands. Second and 4. Of course, Brian Robinson went to the University of Alabama. As Robinson takes the carry up the middle. And you always root for a guy like Brian Robinson, Bomber. This is a guy who stopped an armed robbery, took a couple bullets, no life-threatening damage, but had to recover after taking a bullet to the knee and to the backside, and is able to come back and be a contributing member. Not just a contributing member, but a really good running back. Yeah, and he's looked like the best back on the screen today. And that last play, that linebacker has to eat that block. He kind of stayed off of it, and that allowed that run to go for some extra yardage. I think that was a bad conservative play there for the linebacker. He's got to make a move. I don't know if you caught it, but in the middle of the field, you got that pull blocker coming, and he just kind of stayed in no man's land.
Lucky that didn't turn worse for Sam Howell, as he spent a lot of time in the box. It's a young quarterback, Bomber. But they're going to have to learn this internal clock. It moves a lot faster than it did in college, especially here in the NBL. These defenses are going to be screaming at you. You got to get rid of the football.
Absolutely. That peripheral vision, that ability to, get some confidence out there and the game starts slowing down for you. That's when you really start seeing quarterbacks successful. As Kyler Murray in the same boat, he's struggling with that as well.
Howell back to pass, pressure right up the middle, and again throwing out of the sack. Lucky once again for that ball to fall incomplete. 3rd and 10.
And that would have been a coverage sack. I guess we're happy he got rid of it, so he didn't lose the yards. But right there, I'm counting down the time. That's 5 seconds in the pocket. And the internal clock has to go off. You got to get out of there if you're Sam Howell. Start moving, look to throw it away, or look to extend the play right there. Just a sitting duck. And you can't take too many of those hits. They start adding up throughout the season.
The Cardinals come out in that nickel triple formation. Linebacker right in the A gap. 3 wide receivers for the Commanders. 2 to the left side, 1 to the right side. Brian Robinson on the left hip of Sam Howell. Howell back to pass, 4-man rush from the Cardinals. Howell steps up, has a corner route. Really nice throw to Brian Robinson. Just a little corner route out of the backfield. Robinson doesn't get out of bounds. Clock's still running. Washington will take a timeout.
How beautiful is it when you get a clean pocket, your quarterback's feet are set, and you have multiple receivers wide open. He could have taken his pick. He had a man coming across the middle of the field. He had the halfbacks hitting him with the little red zone corner against the linebacker. A couple options there for Sam Howell, and no pressure, stays on his feet, so they continue to drive and trying to extend this to a 2-score game here in Washington.
Week 1 of NBL Season 51. So happy to have you guys along with us. Nick Mizesko, a Bomber along with you.
Porter breaking down the Ethernet story.
Oh, no. Did anybody ask, or was that just like Porter just...
Porter just, voluntarily.
Oh, no, Slam Fist asked. Okay. I was like, man, did Porter just have that queued up, copy paste? You never know. 4 wide set this time. Tight end in the slot. Howell back to pass. Quick throw left side. It's a little out route. First time we've called Scary Terry. Terry McLaurin with his first catch of the game. 13 seconds. No timeouts remaining for Washington. Got to be careful here.
Yeah, you want to take your shots, but it's almost like Bruce Arians always used to say in this situation, do not turn it over. Let's run a play. Look for one guy, right? We're going to look for this guy. If it's not there, let's get rid of it. We're okay taking the 3 here. Let's not try to go through our progressions and risk getting, sack or anything could happen. Pressure comes down on you. Let's be real precise with our decision-making here, and it's okay if we get 3 and go up 10. Porter, it wasn't a USB cord as an Ethernet cord. It was a USB cord in the Ethernet port sitting there about as loosely. Well, I don't want to say what I was going to say, but sitting there loosely.
Nice throwaway here from Sam Howell. 7 seconds. You got to think they take 3 here. Field goal unit.
Yeah, 7 seconds. I know. No timeouts, obviously.
Joey Sly from the left hash mark. Kick is up, and it is true. And just like that, it's a 10-point lead for the Commanders. Just a couple ticks left here in the first half.
Well, you see the crowd starting to get up here, up 10. This team was down 14-7. The game started off first score by Arizona. Washington came back, matched them. Then Arizona scored again. Washington matched them. And then probably just a mental error, which Kyler Murray probably wishes he could have it back. A little screen play that goes pick for 6. And then Washington's able to get a stop defensively. And they drive down and get a field goal right before half here. 1 second left. Expect knees as they go into half. What adjustments do you think Arizona needs to make here to get themselves back in the game?
Let's be clear. Arizona is losing this game. It's basically one play. As the pick 6 on the screen pass, we'll head to halftime. 10-point lead for the Commanders. You got to think in halftime, sticking to their identity, they've been able to run the ball at will, Bomber. Has there been nobody has been able to stop either of these running backs, but Antonio Gibson has been on fire. But at the same time, they got to figure out how to get stops on the other side of the ball. If they can bottle up Brian Robinson and force Sam Howell to be a one-dimensional quarterback, you feel like that puts the advantage into Arizona's hands. I just don't know if they have the defense to do that.
I'm going to start first where you talked about the offense as Washington gets the ball here, and they did a little Aaron Rodgers Green Bay action there, a little 2-for-1, get a point on the board and get the ball back. Look at what Arizona did when they were up 14-7. They kind of went away from the run a little bit. It's not because they weren't having success. You just started seeing the ball more in Kyler Murray's hands, and now you find yourself down 10. And like you said, I don't know if this defense is going to show up to get enough stops for this offense to start, figuring it out again.
24-14 goes to the single back. It's like a little deuce close action. And run a stretch run to Brian Robinson, who's got some room right side. Impressed with how this O-line has blocked for Brian Robinson. Obviously, when you got a stat line like 9 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown, you're probably patting those big fellas in the trenches on the back and giving them a big thank you.
I'm going to start calling Brian Robinson NASA because he just lives in space there. You give him the ball, and there's nothing but open field. Gotcha. You hit me with like 3 of those to start. And it's like, man. Oh, wow. Must have guessed past there.
Man, it looked like if he stays inside, it looked like he just hesitated to go outside for a second. If he stays inside, he might be gone. 2nd and 3. This Cardinals defense is getting gashed by
He's picking up 7, and we're critiquing him because that's just how open this is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can pick up 7, or he can pick up 14. Either way, it's a win-win. But yeah, Arizona's rush defense just looks atrocious right now.
And Bomber, we have not seen a game in a while that's been as punishing on guest pass as this game is. You're seeing these linebackers. Every time they think it's a pass, they're dropping way back, and because of that, it is so easy to get those first 6 yards for Brian Robinson. They'll pick up a first down.
Absolutely, and in the game where it's ground and pound and Washington is just nickel and diming you every time they hand the ball off to Brian Robinson, I wouldn't even be thinking guest pass. That's already out the book. I cut that out the playbook, threw it away. We're not doing that the rest of this game because of how successful they've been on the ground and how willing they are to continue to stay on the ground.
3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, run a little speed option. That was a predetermined pitch the whole way and was completely unnecessary because Sam Howell had a lane. Brian Robinson did not, and he loses 2. Maybe the first time we've seen the Cardinals actually get a loss on a run play.
We talked about it. You said he has to adapt to this NBL. Speed is a different game than college, and right there, he wanted nothing to do with keeping that ball when he saw those big boys in front of him. Well, they weren't really in front of him. They were waiting for the pitch, too. Sam Howell just does his best to avoid finding himself on the ground.
Play action pass. Howell back to pass.
Defense.
Really good coverage downfield. Late run. It's picked off. He was looking for the leaking running back, and a great play by White over the middle. I believe that's Kazir White with the interception. Just what the Cardinals needed.
And in doubt, you got to throw it away. Once again, 55 coming. Sam Howell feels, once you hit the 4th progression and nothing's open, the next guy is likely ending the cookie jar. Not a good move. And right there, Sam Howell learns the hard way. You got to get rid of that ball. That's a covered sack. And if you can't throw it away, throw it away. You don't try to force it downfield, especially over the middle of the field when you got a guy breathing down your neck.
Maybe the best defender on that run play might have been his own blocker out in the 2nd level. Antonio Gibson able to pick up another first down as he gets 13 on the run.
Couple things off that last drive from Washington. As you mentioned, that option shovel kind of, let's not get cute here if you're Washington, right? Everything we're doing is working. They got a little cute, and I just kind of think it threw the offense a little out of rhythm there on that next play.
That one almost blown up in the backfield. Good fight from Antonio Gibson. Former commander able to just get 2 yards out of that one. It could have been a 3 or 4 yard loss the way Deron Payne was in the backfield. It's going to be a 2nd and 8. Murray back into the shotgun. Bunch to the left side. Solo receiver Rondale Moore right side of the formation. And it's an RPO once again. It's a screen pass. Looked like a missed block on the outside. Jahan Dotson, though, making people miss left and right. Turns around, waves to the crowd, and he'll pick up a first down.
That was a nice run after the catch. I think we've seen more throws to the flat with Arizona than we've seen Kyler drive the ball, 5 to 15 yards in the air. It's at least more success doing it that way, and that's not going to be your bread and butter, but right now they're able to keep this drive alive.
Toss play out of the shotgun. Gibson trying to get the edge, cuts back inside. Nice run there to pick up 7. 15 carries, 110, and 2 tutties. He's thinking about 3.
Washington's back into this open field tackling that hasn't been good. They're too aggressive. They got 3 guys to tackle 1, and you're seeing guys going for the big hit stick, trying to wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And right now, it's not working in their favor, and you got Gibson able to pick up a few more yards after that.
Quick slant, left side, Jahan Dotson into the end zone, and Kyler Murray delivers his first touchdown pass of NBL season 51.
And that's when Kyler Murray looks his best, when he just gets rid of the ball. It's just a confident throw, step back, set your feet, let it rip. When you take the thinking away and the improvising away, and you just trust your football instincts right there, he looks good. And he looks like a top 15, top 10 quarterback. At times he could fool you. But it's when he just tries to do too much or get too cute. I think both of these quarterbacks can learn from that.
Prater will boot this one away. So all of a sudden, a game that Washington was in firm control of, up 10 with the ball. Now only up 3 off the interception thrown by Sam Howell. How do they respond here on this drive with 2:36 to go in the third quarter?
This is what makes playoff teams right there, being in this situation, because you're up 10, you got some cushion, you had the ball to start the second half. Errant turnover. Arizona responds back off the turnover, puts 7. That's 3. It just, you're up 3, but it doesn't really feel like you're up 3 right now. It feels like you had a bad possession the last time you're there, and then they scored. And as long as they don't feel rushed here and try to get it all back and get this lead back, they should be fine. Stay with the run, play the possession to score. Don't worry about the scoreboard right now.
I mean, Curtis Samuel got baptized out there. Nice first down, though. Throw to the flat, get it to your playmaker's hands. First and 10 from the 40-yard line.
Just using the open field and the speed, run into the open space, and I'm going to find you, Sam Howell, with a nice pitch and catch there.
2 wide to the left side, 1 to the right side. Lone tight end right side of that formation. They'll go to the ground. It is Brian Robinson. And finally, a little bit of run defense from the Arizona Cardinals, only able to get 3.
That's the first time I've seen Arizona actually shoot a gap, make a tackle. So, and still, Brian Robinson able to pick up 3 yards. So at their best, I mean, we're talking 3 yards per carry here is a bottom minimum here for Brian Robinson. He's having a tremendous day.
Hi, Rose. 2nd and 7. $140 and counting. Howell in the shotgun. He's back to pass. 5-man rush. Little mesh concept over the middle. It's Curtis Samuel breaks a tackle. And this is where he can be dangerous inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Sam Howell incredibly accurate on the day. And once again, the Washington Commanders in business.
That was a perfect play call for the defense that you saw from Arizona. Arizona's out there. They're probably going to match anything that comes across the middle, but they were a little shallow in the middle. You know, they had 2 linebackers there. You run that mesh concept, kind of flooded the middle of the field, and found yourself with some blockers upfield as well as they're down to the 39-yard line.
Back to Robinson they go. Little zone run left side. Missed tackle. Gets 3.
Thank you, leg. That's a dead leg. That leg needs CPR.
that leg needs a defibrillator. 24-21.
Hey.
Reminder, guys, make sure you follow us on Twitter at the Bomber League, at NBL Network. We'll let you know when each and every time we are live here on the NBL Network Twitch. Also, keep an eye out for BTF New York. Big city. New York Giants. What are you expecting out of this Giants team, Bomber? Wild Danny Dimes, Darren Waller, who might be healthy for about 4 games. I mean, Saquon Barkley.
I'm expecting this team to build itself into a contender. I mean, this season, I'm shooting for playoffs. I want to see us get a big draft. I want to see it all. I want to see a season 53 Super Bowl for the New York Giants. And I want to see them do it with Danny Dimes, man. I want to see Daniel Jones take them there. But you don't know how far a blind man can guide you through the gauntlet known as the playoffs.
Put your 4s up in the chat. We're heading to the 4th quarter. NBL Live broadcast 353. It is 24-21 Commanders looking to cash in. Big moment here, Bomber. It feels like the Cardinals need to hold them to 3.
Yeah, and they can continue that momentum that they had offensively. They've done a much better job defending the run in the 3rd quarter. Even though Washington's still moving the chains, but we're actually seeing some resilience there. Don't make a mistake here. He's done it before. Sam Howell steps up, a lot of room.
Nice. That's what we didn't see in the first half, Bomber. We saw him try to make one of those tight window throws. This time he steps up in the pocket, takes what the defense gives him, and he has a 1st and goal from the 5.
Absolutely. Sam Howell learning from his mistakes on the fly here. And right there, able to stay tight in the pocket, trust his offensive line. And, hey, he found himself an open lane that just appeared right in front of his eyes.
3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, Terry McLaurin out there. It's a play action. And he'll do a little flip to Brian Robinson. And
oh, he lost his footing.
Looks like he slipped on the cutback. He'll get they'll call it 3 yards down to the 2-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Now, Brian Robinson's looking like Mr. Untouchable here. Even then, he just eludes the defender. I don't even know if we credit him for a tackle there. I mean, he just completely eluded the defender, even though it was at the expense of ending up on the ground. But, man, Brian Robinson, he just has this fast twitch speed here.
And there's Brian Robinson, and he's into the end zone, and the Commanders take that commanding lead, go up by 2 scores as we near the 5-minute mark here in the game.
That's a statement touchdown for Washington. Now defensively, we know Arizona's had a lot of success. Quick throws to the flat, running the ball. Now you're down 10. If they can get Arizona to pick the pace up and Washington can squeeze another turnover out of Kyler Murray, they might be able to put this game away here.
Arizona defense can't stop a nosebleed. You're not wrong. 31-21. Commanders with the lead. So Rashad Fenton will take this 6 yards deep in the end zone. Tries to, ball's out, big hit, and it's picked up by the Commanders.
Washington. Wow. Laying the lumber. Oh.
Rashad
Put that shoulder
Fenton
right into the ball, right?
takes the risk to take it out of the end
It's a
zone
draw.
and pays the price, and it's Brian Robinson on the draw. Big hit on Robinson. Oh, these boys have come to play here in week 1.
You give up 10, you get a big hit. I think Washington will take that every time. Arizona got to hold them to 3 here, and I just think it's really doubtful because Brian Robinson, first and goal from the 6. You give him 3 tries at this, you just got to imagine he walks into the end zone.
Give it to Robinson, big number 8. He'll take a face mask. You can tell aggressive tackle is on. I mean, first and goal from the 2 this time.
What do you run here? We've seen him do play. We've seen play action score here, but with the 10-point lead, I just don't think you do anything but just
make sure
downhill
conservatives
run.
on. Make sure that you're just covering that football.
He could throw to the flat here on a little stick concept.
No, they're going to give it to Brian Robinson, who's going to fight through a tackle down to the 1-yard line.
I want to see that again. You'd think at home cook could give him the touchdown there. He's inches away from Pedro. I thought a little stick option. I mean, I know they don't want to put the ball in the air with Sam Howell. You got your go-to guy, Brian Robinson. You're up 10. You throw the flat. Pick 6 could happen. I get it. But I think that tight end would leak right to the flat. I think he would do it again here on the left side.
Second and goal from the 1. RPO up over the top. Dolphin diving. Seal this one like an envelope. Brian Robinson's 3 touchdowns, the story of this game. The Washington Commanders up by 3 scores.
He touched space right there.
Mm-hmm. Flying Brian Robinson.
I need that on a poster. Wow. Did you know about that? Did he do the vertical at the combine?
His vert must have been up there.
I mean, I call him NASA because he's always in open space, right? But now it makes even more sense. He just jumps to get up there.
38-21. The pogo
Best
stick
performance.
finds the end zone.
When's the last good? Okay, long ago. Was it Adrian Peterson who broke the rushing record?
Yeah, it was AP.
It was who?
AP, yeah.
In NBL?
Yeah.
This is up there with one of those performances.
Oh, sure.
Just dominating. And they're going to give him this. The clock's going to keep moving, right? And it seemed like that was the thing. When they were up 10, they're going to give you the runs and let the clock continue to move. But we just haven't seen much from Kyler Murray as far as going downfield.
Antonio Gibson jukes Casper the Friendly Ghost. Not a soul was there in the middle, but he hit the juke move. He's able to get 9. Maybe fruitless at this point. 3:32 left here in the ball game.
If you got him in fantasy, little stat pad in action right now. It looks like they're playing for halfback yards as opposed to trying to miraculously get back in the game. Right there, ain't going to get the yards. A nice little pitch to the outside. But the defense says no. Davis gets his first tackle of the game.
Only fitting that the first NBL Live in about 2.5 years would have a historic performance in it. Brian Robinson doing that. That's a little verticals out of the bunch. Trey McBride has a catch.
Quick pitch and catch from Murray. I'd like to see a second progression here. Here's another boot. A lot of this right now.
Rondale Moore, nice catch in traffic. How did he hold on to that one? First and goal for the Cards. We knew the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, this is confusing now to pick up the pace after we saw about 4 runs to start this drive. I mean, they wasted 2 minutes running the ball. They're going to get a
easy.
touchdown here.
That one's too easy. That just looked like a little fade route from the slot. K.J. Hamler, former Penn State Nittany Lion, finds pay dirt. And after a sort of lackadaisical start to the drive, the Cardinals cut it back to 2 scores before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, it took 2 minutes off the game clock to get there. And I want to say about a minute and a half of it was Gibson running. They're going to go onside here. I hope Washington's ready. Anything can happen here on NBL Live Broadcast 353.
Here's the onside kick from Prater. High ball. It is Curtis Samuel, the hands team out there. Makes the play. 2:07 left. Washington looking to close it out.
That's not a comfortable position. That ball kicking up, that's not a usual catch, right? And Samuel's on an island by himself. That's just a gutsy catch there, and that's a clutch play there to try to put this one away. Still 10-point game with 3 timeouts. And 4. You got the 2-minute warning. Yeah.
Watkins in the backfield trying to get Brian Robinson. He gets around the edge. He's got yards. Juke move back inside. He'll get 9. And Brian Robinson continues to dominate this ground and pound attack.
So you wonder if the defensive lineman really had any chance, or Brian Robinson was just taking him for a walk down to the sideline before he cut it upfield. More space.
No timeouts taken, though. Clock's still running.
Now maybe that last drive was more of a let's get our quarterback's head right, get him a touchdown before we get out of here for Arizona. Because right now you're not seeing nothing on defense. They did go for the onside.
Single back deuce close. They'll run this clock down. Give it to Brian Robinson. Cuts back up the middle. Cuts back to the right side. Back to the middle. And he'll get 9. 23 carries, 171 on the ground.
Looking to get tackles. He was looking just to find some contact and get down. He's trying to get out of here. Took him 9 yards to find somebody.
There to the victory formation with no effort shown by Arizona to call timeouts. And it looks like it will be knees and GG's. I don't know how we saw this game going, especially that first drive, Bomber, where Antonio Gibson really dominated for the Arizona Cardinals. But the defense from Washington set up a couple turnovers, and that gets Miller the first victory of the season. He'll go to 1-0. The Washington Commanders. T. Jackson, the Arizona Cardinals will drop to 0-1.
Yeah, it started up 14-7. Arizona took a lead early on, and then they were outscored 31-14 to end the game. And the home team wins again here in week 1, and that's going to put us to week 2. This was the final game of week 1. Man, if I'm Washington, I think I know my strategy moving forward, because, man, they really put on a show here at the running. The way they were running, even defensively creating turnovers. But I think they have a nice attack here, and they're using the play action to get Sam Howell going.
Well, good to be back with NBL Live, Bomber. Good to be back on the call with you once again. And, again, people should hit that Twitter. Make sure they follow both the league and the network on Twitter.
It's not Twitter anymore.
I'm sorry, X. Oh, my God.
So
I changed my mind. It's not good to be back, and I quit. Good luck. Buena suerte. We head to week 2 in NBL. Obviously, won't be the last time you hear these voices here on the network. But, Bomber, great to be back, and we got a great game to start.
Absolutely, man. Fun times. Enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys tuning in to NBL Live Broadcast 353. Make sure you follow us on X at the Bomber League at NBL Network, so you know every time we're live here on the NBL Network. And for the Commissioner Bomber, I'm Nick Mizesko. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time right here on NBL Live.